Hi. So today I want to try and summarize uh, my investigations into the difference between mind as thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and the difference between that and what the physical reality is in terms of a, a human's perspective on that. Because, us humans, we're so easy to be self righteous and arrogant and somewhat violently defensive about our opinions. And we don't realize how difficult it is to distinguish and discern what is fact and what is opinion, what is eternally true and what is just a fashion to be invalidated by the next fashion. Uh, so let me use an example. So one day I was at the gym and I waiting for my personal trainer. I just sit down on the sofa, and across from me is a girl, and she happens to be another personal trainer. And eventually, I noticed that she took an interest in me. And fast forward to nighttime. It's time to sleep, and I close my eyes, and what I see and feel is not darkness. See, the physical reality would be when I close my eyes, when I turn off the lights, and I'm in bed, what I should see and feel is darkness. But that's not what I see or feel. That's not what I saw or felt at the time. I saw and I saw visions of my being together with this girl. I felt feelings of love. You can call it puppy love, but more specifically, it's like a love based on personal imagination and fantasies, based on certain conditions that the girl must fulfill. And long story short, it was difficult to stop imagining. It was difficult to stop making this connection between myself and this girl in my head because all this happening, it's not about the girl. It's about what I think about the girl, what the girl is reflecting back to me. And at that time, she was reflecting back to me my own imaginations and fantasies around love and of the opposite sex. And so at times like this, I realize how extremely embedded imagination is in our world and how we normalize imagination. Because, like in TV shows and movies, they always exemplify love as like this magical force where you don't have to care how it works. You just bask in the result. And that's not the case. That you get you get burned if you just bask in the result and don't care. You get a nasty side effect, basically, if you don't care about how it works. Uh, so using this example, the girl and attraction and beauty and love, like beauty alone, what if you investigate within yourself what separates a beautiful person from an ugly person? It's actually a whole multitude of symbolisms and people following trends and you following the trend. It's imagination. It's imagination imposed onto reality, onto your fellow neighbor who happens to be of the opposite sex. And, funny side note, when I asked myself, and when I ask myself now, would I like to pervert myself as this other person? Would I like to pervert this other human being that is me in another life? Like, is that best for everyone? Would that lead to an outcome that is best for everyone? Uh, is it sustainable? Is it desirable in fact? And it doesn't, the opportunity doesn't seem quite as enticing when I phrase it like that. When I phrase it like, am I willing to go this far to pervert a part of myself that I separated myself from? Because that's the thing with porn, that's the thing with relationships, that's the thing with love, that's the thing with beauty. You have to keep a certain distance from the subject, from the object of your desire. You have to idealize it. You have to create a bit of distance between you and the object of desire. And that all happens in the mind. This is part of how the mind works. Creating distance where there is no distance. Creating differences where there is no difference. I mean, we're all human beings. We're all part of the same humanity. Existentially, we are the same team. We are on the same team playing a game of life. But clearly, that is downplayed, disrespected, ignored, suppressed, pushed down to the greatest depth, and just like abused in every way. Like we collectively as a group, we're quite a brutal, disciplined, brutal group. We're very brutal in how we compete to the death against each other. Um, yeah, so there you go. An example of the difference between what is physical and what is mind, and how and one uh, reflection in the mirror, in that unpolished mirror of how there is nothing good in no shred of good in the mind. There is nothing we can build upon in the mind, of the mind, to build it into something better. It's just all bad. It's just it's just the definition of bad. It's the definition of separation, the mind. Unless you create it as an exact copy of the physical, but that is extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult. And you shouldn't hope that you're one of those people that replicate the physical into your mind. And it's virtually impossible with all those temptations, like those emotions and feelings, those emotions torching you like on your ass, getting you to run towards the enticing high feelings of desire, etc. Yeah, that's all for today. Thanks. Bye.